Welcome back to Dope Monday. I am Brendan. Thank you for joining me. Today, on this beautiful, beautiful Dope Monday, we are going to talk about Drake. Toronto-based rapper Drake. Degrassi star rapper Drake. And the reason we're going to talk about Drake is because he very, very recently released his new album / playlist, More Life. So More Life seemed to seemed to come from the fact that he received a lot of criticism for his last album, Views, and I think Views kind of pushed him out of the spotlight for a little bit. If you really think about it, Views came out and then a lot of these unheard of rappers started really becoming big at that point. My belief is that is how More Life came to be. More Life, unlike Views, doesn't really have a storyline. I had to listen to More Life quite a few times all the way through in order to really grasp what I thought was going on, and what I came to the conclusion to is that there isn't some specific message that Drake is trying to picture here. It's really just a lot of Drake putting himself out there, saying this is the kind of rapper that I am. My true opinion about More Life is it is a really great body of work. It's a 22-track playlist. Is it his best piece of work? I do not believe so. I believe that nothing that he's ever done has ever beaten what he did with Take Care. But it is one of his better pieces of work, and I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why you should listen to it. Drake uses what he knows has worked for him. Is it the most innovative album in the world? No, but it's a good body of work that makes sense for the type of work that Drake has created. You know, Hotline Bling, kind of Caribbean dance infused this thing, won a Grammy, which means that type of song is what works for an artist like Drake. He infuses that a lot. In terms of comparing it to other general hip-hop albums, it's not a very loud album. It's not a very in-your-face album. Drake does what he does best in making that type of music. Another reason why this album was so interesting to me was its honesty. I don't know Drake's life. I don't know Drake personally, so I can't really determine how honest this album is. He discusses a lot of things that have actually happened based on media reports, based on his testimony, based on other people's testimony. He addresses a lot of issues that he's had in his life. There's a little insert in the middle of the album from his mother saying that he needs to think more positively about things and really get back on track because his life has gone in a weird direction for a little bit. And I think it's really neat that Drake was willing to put out his world like that for us to listen to. He does take a lot of what the media has told us, and it kind of explained it a little bit. And it's kind of him saying, this is what's going on. This is what I'm going through right now. Putting his heart on his sleeve and wearing it. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really respectable of an artist to put his private life out there, because he doesn't have to. Drake is extremely rich. One of the wealthiest artists in the world right now. He is doing very, very well for himself. He could stop working if he wanted to, and he chooses not to. With that said, Drake doesn't have to be honest with us. Drake can just make every song like Hotline Bling. He could choose to just make that type of music forever, and he would still do very, very well, just because of the name Drake. Maybe it's because of all the slack and criticism that he's received in the past 2 years. Either way, I highly respect Drake, and I hope that we get more of that in the future. Drake calls out a lot of people. They're very, very subtle. He doesn't, say anyone by name, except for Jay-Z, but I couldn't really tell if his little thing about Jay-Z was actually a shot at him, because it doesn't matter. He calls out a lot of people on this album, but he does it in a way that I haven't really seen been done before. How you let the kid fighting ghostwriting rumors turn you to a ghost. That is explicitly a shot at Meek Mill. And there are plenty of shots, not only at Meek Mill, but also plenty of other artists. And usually how artists, or rappers in particular, incorporate firing shots like this into their music. Here's what you are as an artist, and here's why it makes you look insignificant. Or specifically, here's why you're insignificant as an artist. Drake does this. Drake does do this aspect of it. But he also does something a little bit different. And it's not something that I see artists do very often. They really come out and say, yeah, you're insignificant, but by you starting this beef with me, or by you saying what you did about me in this way, here's how I was affected. And you can most explicitly see it when he calls out Meek Mill and he says, yo, like, I can't believe you actually tried to prevent me giving food to my family and supporting my people. He calls out Meek Mill and says, dude, like, what you did just wasn't cool. Meek Mill really betrayed Drake. That's a very real thing to say to someone, you know? It's really easy to go into defense mode and say, well, here's why you're stupid, or here's why you suck at rapping, or here's why you don't belong in this game. In my opinion, I think it takes a lot more courage to be like, here's what you did, and here is how it affected me. And that's why this album is so real, is he's not afraid to say anything anymore. Go check out all the other shots that he calls. Some of them are pretty interesting. Those are the 3 reasons why you should listen to More Life. All in all, I thought it was one of his better pieces of work. Drake, you are a pretty dope artist. This is a pretty dope album. Keep being dope.